I came home, dropped my keys in the bowl, and said, "Hey, Laura." She was at the sink, staring at nothing. Hey, flat as a dial tone. She walked past me, slipped off her shoes in the hallway, and disappeared into the bedroom. Door clicked. No hug, no questions, no "how was your day?" Just the kind of cold that tells you the furnace died and you're the last to know. I stood there with a takeout bag and a dumb plan to eat together. I told myself she was exhausted. End of quarter, long hours, big client. Pick a reason. I put her food in the fridge, tossed mine in the microwave, and at the table, I stared at the empty chair across from me. If I'd known where it was headed, I wouldn't have saved her dinner. I would have saved my time. Next morning, she was already dressed, laptop bag on her shoulder. I leaned on the doorframe. "We good?" "Busy," she said, eyes on her watch. "That's not what I asked." She adjusted the strap. "Can this wait?" "I have a 9:30. "Sure, it can wait until we become roommates who split the Wi-Fi." "Don't be dramatic, Mark." She stepped around me. "I'll text you." "Text me or talk to me later." She was halfway down the stairs. "Promise." The door closed. The promise meant nothing. I used to be patient. I used to chalk it up to workload, but patience without feedback is just being ignored. I poured coffee, looked at our calendar pinned to the fridge, a bunch of her meetings, and none of our life. That night she came home after 11 foo. I was on the couch, emails open. I paused the TV. "Hey," she said, dropping her bag. "You didn't have to wait up." "I didn't. I just live here." "You're mad." "No, I'm mapping the pattern." I said, "Coffee in the morning, silence in the evening." "That about right." She rolled her neck. "Can I shower before this turns into a thing?" "Already is a thing." I stood. "Pick a night this week. You and me. Dinner out, phones away." She slid her earrings off, eyes on the little dish. "I can't promise this week." "Then you pick next. Put your name next to something that isn't your office." She let out that light laugh. "People use when they're dismissing you. You're making this bigger than it is." I nodded once. "Okay, then I'm going to make it smaller." I grabbed a marker, crossed out the Saturday brunch with her team I had agreed to attend, and wrote, "Mark, range day with Nate." I didn't ask again. Not angry, clear. Saturday morning, she found me lacing my boots. "You're bailing on brunch." "Yep, you promised you'd be there." "Greg's bringing his wife." "It's a whole thing." "And you promised dinner." I straightened up. "A whole thing." She folded her arms. "This is petty." "No." I shrugged into a jacket. "This is me declining to play supporting cast in your schedule while ours sits in drafts. So, we're keeping score now. No score, new rules." I held up the marker like a referee's whistle. "I'm done volunteering for events where I'm background noise. When you're ready for us to be a priority, I'll make space." She stared at me for a beat. "Fine. Tuesday dinner. I'll book a place. Good. Text me the time." She softened a hair. "I know I've been slammed." "You've been absent," I said, not raising my voice. "If you want a roommate, say it. If you want a husband, show it." Her jaw worked, but she nodded. "Tuesday, I'll make it good." That was the first soft turn. She came back from grabbing groceries with my favorite coffee. "Put the bag on the counter like an offering. I got the one you like. Appreciate it." And she opened the fridge, pointed to a container. "I made that quinoa thing you said you'd try." "You mean the one I said I'd tolerate?" She smiled for real. "That one?" I almost smiled back. Almost, but it felt like a discount coupon after you'd already paid full price. Tuesday morning, she texted 700 p.m. Rosedale. I said, "Perfect." I ironed a shirt. I was in the driveway at 6:50. At 6:58, an email came through from her running 5 behind. At 7:05, 10 more. At 7:20, "So sorry, call ran over. Can we push to 8? I typed, then deleted, then called the host, and gave up our table. At 7:45, she breezed into the driveway, stepped out of a rideshare, cheeks pink from the night air. "You look great," she said, smile bright. "Don't be mad. I'll drive." "They'll seat us." "They won't," I cannoned. She blinked. "Why would you do that?" "Because I don't audition. I said we eat at home tomorrow. Schedule it in ink. I'll see if I'm available." "Oh, come on, Laura," I cut in calm. "You gave me late and sorry. That's not dinner. That's an excuse. I'm done setting the table for your apologies." She stared at me, searching for the angle that used to work. She didn't find it. She went inside without another word. Wednesday morning, she tried version 2 of nice pancakes. Coffee already poured. She touched my shoulder. "I messed up last night." "You did. I'll make it up. You can try," I said. Actions first. I picked up my plate, ate standing. She watched me like I'd changed languages. That night, a new flavor of disrespect. She invited her friend Kelsey over. Loud, shiny, everything's content, Kelsey. I was in the garage organizing my tools when I heard laughter and my name. I walked in to grab something and Kelsey looked me over. "There he is," she chirped. "Our patient saint." I set the wrench on the counter. "Not a saint. Not patient." Kelsey glanced at Laura. "Someone wake up on the wrong side." Laura's voice had that joking lilt. "He's sensitive when I have deadlines." "Sensitive?" I repeated. "Right, Mark," Laura said, focusing on me like I was a problematic intern. "We're doing a girls' night. You okay to find something to do?" I met her eyes. "I live here. You want privacy? Book a place." Kelsey held up her hands. "Whoa, it's just wine and a movie." "Great," I said and pointed to the TV. "Turn it down after 10. Kelsey laughed. "He's serious." "I am," I said. "And before you ask, no, I'm not sticking around to fetch shootery." I grabbed my jacket, the gym bag, and left. If I was going to be treated like a boarder, I'd start acting like a landlord. At the gym, Nate found me between sets. He's the kind of friend who can fix an engine blindfolded and still catch a lie at 10 yards. "You look like a man who just ate cold dinner," he said. "Close." I ate pancakes in silence. "Trouble distance with excuses," I said. "And then jokes in front of an audience." He nodded. "You drawing lines?" I started. "Next step, separate calendars, separate budgets. I'm not funding the show. We're on the punchline." "Do it," he said. "Do it without a speech." I did. Thursday morning, I moved my accounts to a separate card for everything not essential to the house. I put a short list on the fridge. Mortgage, utilities, groceries, split, everything else. Talk. I reclaimed the guest room as my office and put a lock on the drawer where I kept paperwork. I didn't announce. I posted rules and went on with my day. That afternoon, she sent me a photo of her team in a conference room, pizza boxes, and fake cheer. Caption, "Wish me luck, monster client." I wrote back, "Good luck. Home by 10 years." She sent a thumbs up. At 10:30, she wasn't home. At midnight, she sent, "Sorry, we're still negotiating. Don't wait up." I replied, not waiting, just observing. She sent a heart. I stared at the screen and realized I had become the guy who thinks the meter made for a warning. That realization is the kind that forces a decision. Friday morning, I asked my supervisor for the afternoon off. "You okay?" Denise asked. "Family stuff. I need clarity." "Handle it," she said. At noon, I parked a couple blocks from Laura's building. I had a sandwich, a thermos, and nothing else to do except notice patterns. I told myself I hoped to catch her at 6. Both of us walking to our cars, and maybe we'd get dinner like adults. That was the lie I used to make the stakeout feel less pathetic. She came out at 5:45 with a guy I'd seen once at a holiday party. Chris, neat hair, bright smile, 2 casual hands. They paused under the awning, their bags slung on one shoulder each. He said something. She laughed and then, quiet as a habit. He took her hand, not a grab. Familiar, the kind of touch that says this is normal. They headed down the sidewalk like a couple on any Thursday night. I didn't move for a second. It wasn't shock. It was math. I'd been calculating for weeks. I finally had a hard number. They turned toward Maple Street. I started the car and followed at a distance. They stopped at a little place with brick walls and candles. He opened the door for her. She glanced back down the street, not nervous, just checking the world like it belonged to her. I parked around the corner, walked past once like I was looking for someone, then circled back with my phone at my side. I didn't get dramatic angles. I took 3 shots from the sidewalk. Nothing scandalous, no touching that would get anyone arrested. Just 2 people seated close. fingers interlaced on the table once when the server leaned in. Enough to show a story without telling it. I stepped into the crosswalk and typed again late at work. The bubbles pulsed then. Yeah, sorry. Huge backlog. Don't wait up. I looked at her through the window while I read the lie she wrote with a straight face. I saved the photos, put the phone in my pocket, and stood for a minute with my hands in my jacket. My plan locked in all at once. No yelling, no long talks, boundaries, paperwork, exit. I drove to a notary I'd used before and got a short list of referrals. Monday morning, I booked a consult with a lawyer. Calm voice, efficient. We discussed the house, assets, timelines. No drama, I said. Quick and clean. Understood, she said. You'll need to be decisive. I am. On the way home, I stopped by Nate's shop. He was under a truck. Give me news. I can drink too, he said, rolling out. I have photos, I said. He wiped his hands. You want to go swing a bat at a mailbox? I want paperwork, I said, and a door that closes behind me. He squinted at me. You good? I'm clear, I said. Clarity is better than hope. He nodded. Then do it. Don't warn. Don't lecture. Just move. I did. I moved my spare clothes to the office closet. I changed the passcode on my laptop in the backup drive. I told Denise I'd be tied up a couple mornings the next week. She didn't pry. Adults don't. The first backlash came Sunday afternoon, disguised as kindness. Laura came into the garage with a tray. Iced tea, apple slices, that quinoa thing. I've been distracted, she said, setting the tray on the workbench. I know you felt it. I hate it. Do you? I do. She took a breath. Thursday. I'm blocking the evening. Just us. I already sent the calendar invite. No rescheduling. I looked at the invite on my phone. It was real. She was watching me watch it. I want us to be good, she said. I'm trying. I see you trying today, I said. She nodded. Thank you. I didn't mention the pictures. I didn't show my hand. I also didn't accept the tea. I moved it to the corner so I wouldn't knock it over. She noticed. The smallest things are declarations if you let them be. Monday morning, I signed the retainer. Wednesday, I picked up the packet with the clear instructions and a set of documents ready for my signature, and later hers. I put the photos in a plain envelope, slipped it between the pages. No notes, no commentary. That afternoon, she tried her second version of nice, overcorrected sweetness. She texted at noon, dropping by your office. Surprise, she showed at one with a bag of deli sandwiches and a look that said she was here to reclaim narrative. My coworker Jada popped her head over the cube wall. Your wife brought lunch, Jada said. I didn't know spouses still did that. Laura smiled for the room. He works too hard. Someone's got to feed him. Jada grinned and went back to her screen. Laura set the bag down. Turkey with extra mustard. And that cookie you like. You're on a roll, I answered. She tucked hair behind her ear. I missed you. I held her eyes until the performance looked flimsy. People think you need volume to set a boundary. You don't. You need calm, Laura, I said, keeping my voice easy. Work is not a place for relationship theater. Thank you for the food. Let's keep personal talks at home. Her smile dropped a millimeter. I'm making an effort, noted. I said, tonight I have plans. With who? Nate. Cancel. No. She stood straighter. So, I show up and I get rules. You show up when it's convenient. I said rules are how adults stop pretending convenience equals commitment. Jada peeked over again, saw the tension, and vanished. Laura swallowed. Fine, she said. Enjoy your night. She squeezed my shoulder too hard, too deliberate, and left with that clipped walk that says the script bombed. That night, I didn't text where I was, didn't send a photo of wings or a scoreboard. I got home at 10 hard, put my keys in the bowl, wrote on the calendar for Saturday. Estate attorney, deedentier a nerm, house deed. Not a threat, a step. Thursday came with the invite she'd promised. She got home at 6 exactly, hair brushed like an apology. She held up tickets to a jazz thing downtown. I booked it days ago. Spontaneous but not flaky. Nice. You'll come. I looked at her. I'm not available tonight. Her mouth opened, then shut. You said you wanted scheduled time. I did. And I made other plans because you trained me not to rely on yours. That takes a while to untrain. Mark, I'm trying here, she said and grabbed my arm. You're punishing me. I'm calibrating, I said, gently moving her hand. Friday, if you're free, we'll talk logistics. Logistics? She laughed once like the word was a joke. We're not a delivery route. No, I said we're two people who need clarity. Logistics are clarity. She paced the kitchen, opening and closing a drawer with no purpose. You're being cold. I'm being precise. I said there's a difference. Her phone buzzed. She checked it. Didn't tilt the screen away. The lazy habit of someone who thinks you won't look. A message preview. Chris, leaving now. See you there. Her thumb flicked the alert away. When she looked up, her expression had reset to neutral. I'll be late. Not too late. Don't wait up. I won't, I said. Friday afternoon, the lawyer called. Papers are ready for pickup. She said, you can serve them when you're ready. Good. I said, I'll be by at 4. I signed where I needed to sign, slid the envelope with the photos into the stack and went home. I put the documents on the desk in the office and waited. I didn't pour a drink. I didn't pace. I kept my hands busy, sorted the mail, took out the trash, folded laundry, everything steady, like I was preparing a house for sale. At 11:52 p.m., my phone lit up. Laura stayed to help a colleague. Don't worry, might crash at Kelsey's if it goes late. I typed, help him with loneliness. I set the phone face down. It vibrated immediately. Call, then another. Then a long text. What is that supposed to mean? Mark, answer me. Where are you? This isn't okay. I didn't pick up. I wanted her in the house, not on a screen. The door slammed open 20 minutes later. She stormed in, breathless, cheeks hot from speed and indignation. What is wrong with you? She demanded, stopping in the doorway of the office. That message? Are you serious? You think I didn't speak? I let her run the scene. She pointed at me. You're paranoid. You've been petty for weeks. You cancel plans. You make lists. You act like a manager. Are you trying to push me away? Because congratulations. I sat, hands folded, and watched her perform offense. She went on how hard she was working, how I didn't understand pressure, how her coworker needed support on a deadline. How dare I imply things, how I was cruel, how I had changed. She wanted me to argue. She wanted the fight where I'd say too much and she could analyze my tone instead of her choices. When she stopped for oxygen, I smiled. The kind of smile you give when a seminar finally ends. She frowned. Say something, she said. Sure, I answered and opened the drawer. I placed the documents in front of her on top, the envelope with the photos. She looked down without processing, then flipped the first page. Her eyes snagged on her name paired with mine in the stark font. She thumbed the envelope open, slid the photos out. Brick wall, candles, her hand on his, the small ordinary intimacy of two people who forgot the world had windows. Her face didn't crack. It recalculated. She blinked and the fury drained like water down a sink. In its place, reality. She looked at me, mouth open. The argument she had prepared turning to static. I kept my voice even. Pack a bag, Laura. Tonight, you're going to his place or Kelsey's or anywhere that's not here. She swallowed. You don't want to talk. We're done talking. I said we're just finishing. You don't live here anymore. You can't. I can't, I said and tapped the stack. And I will. You want discretion at the office? Then you'll keep this clean. No scenes, no speeches. You leave now. Tomorrow we'll discuss logistics through email. That's the only courtesy left. Her eyes watered. Not dramatic, just the body recognizing a loss the mind had delayed. Mark, I said no summaries, no half-truths. You made your choices. I made mine. Now we observe the results. She stared at the photos again like they could rearrange themselves into acceptable shapes. I'm sorry, she whispered. You didn't say that when it would have meant something, I answered. Now it's inventory. You're threatening to tell my office. I'm promising to, I said. If you try to take the house my parents left me, if you turn this into a circus, if you drag me through mud I didn't create, I'll answer with light. That's not spite. That's consequence. Her breath hitched. She clutched the envelope like it was proof of something other than what it was. "Can I at least pack?" I repeated. 15 minutes. I'll wait in the kitchen." She moved through the bedroom like a visitor, pulling clothes into a bag, grabbing chargers and a makeup pouch, stuffing everything with the frantic order of a person who knows this isn't temporary but can't say the word. In the kitchen, I set her spare keys on the counter. When she stepped out with the bag, I nodded at them. "Leave those." She placed them down, hands shaking. "Where do I go?" "You already decided that," I said. She swallowed hard. "It wasn't. It was exactly what it looked like," I said. "And now, this is exactly what it looks like." Her demeanor shifted to anger again. A last swing. "You're cruel." "No," I said. "I'm done being sentimental. That always looks cruel to people who benefited from it." She pressed her lips together, scooped up her bag, and walked out. I stood in the doorway, watched her load the trunk, watched the taillights turn the corner. Then I shut the door and turned the deadbolt. No ceremony, no prayer, just the sound of something ending. She didn't call the next day. She didn't text. Monday, I sent an email with available times to sign a short list of logistics. Split accounts, forward mail, collect the rest of her things with Nate present as a neutral witness. She replied with a single line, "I'll arrange pickup." She didn't argue. She understood the leverage, the envelope, and the office. It was a clean week on the surface. I slept in the office for 2 nights because the bed felt like a rented lie. I cleaned the house with the ruthlessness of a moving crew. I ate simple meals and went to the gym early. Denise gave me space. Jada left a post-it. "Stick to the plan." On Wednesday, the pickup. She arrived with Kelsey, who tried on outrage like a new coat and found it didn't fit. Nate leaned against the banister. Quiet steel. Kelsey started. "This is over the top. People work through things." Nate looked at her. "People respect boundaries," he said. "Take the boxes." Laura kept her eyes on the floor. She moved like a person on a stage where the lights are too bright. When she carried the last box out, she paused by the door. "Mark," she said, "good luck." I cut in. "Truly, but this conversation is over." She nodded once and left. That was the last time she stood in that doorway. Word gets around. It did. Not because I shouted. People notice absence and timelines. The office learned, not from me, but from a server who saw 2 names on the reservation menu one too many times and made a joke to a friend in payroll. The story landed where it always lands, with HR asking why a team lead and her colleague were so productive after hours and whether that productivity violated policy. I didn't celebrate. I didn't need to. Consequences accumulate all by themselves once you stop cleaning up after someone. The divorce went fast. You'd be surprised how quickly paperwork moves when it's simple and one party isn't chasing trophies. She tried once through a message from a number I didn't recognize to angle for the house. I forwarded it to the lawyer with one line. "This is off the table. The deed was my parents' legacy. It stayed mine. I didn't hear from her for months. I rebuilt my days. I changed the layout of the living room. I bought a used pickup with cash and didn't post about it. I added a dog from the shelter because I like walks at dawn and the sound of a creature who's happy to see me. He didn't care about calendars. He liked routine. So do I. I ran into her on a gray Tuesday outside a coffee shop downtown. She looked thinner, different jacket, same posture. She saw me, hesitated, then approached like a person stepping into cold water. "Hi," she said. "Laura." She tucked hair behind her ear. "You look good." "I am," I said. She nodded, eyes flicking to the street. "I'm between things. Work?" I asked. "Neutral." "Yeah." She exhaled. "We were both let go. Optics," they said. She didn't add details. She didn't need to. I didn't fight it. I nodded. "That's cleaner." There was a pause. Then she looked up, face open in a way it never was when she still had angles. "I didn't value what I had. I know that now. I thought I could keep everything. Comfort, help, someone who had my back while I chased whatever I was chasing. It was selfish. I'll regret it for a long time." "I believe you regret the consequences," I said. "Not unkind." "That's fair." "It isn't just the consequences," she said, and met my eyes. "You were a good man to me. I didn't meet you there. I didn't rescue her from the silence. It doesn't help anyone to soften an honest moment. "I hope you're happy," she said after a beat. "I'm getting there," I answered. "Happier than I was." She nodded, swallowed, and managed a small smile that wasn't asking for anything. "Take care, Mark." "You too," I said. She walked away, lighter and heavier all at once. The house is quiet now, but not empty. I work, I lift, I keep tools arranged in the garage because order is respect you pay to your own time. On Saturdays, I take the truck out to the lake with Nate and Jada's family, grill burgers, and talk trash about who rows faster. Sometimes I go on dates. Nothing's stuck yet. That's okay. I'm not rushing to fill space just because it's open. I'd rather be alone than be an extra in someone's second life. People hear this story and tell me I'm strong. I don't feel strong. I feel aligned. I stopped fighting to be valued by someone who had already traded that in for something flashier. The win isn't the paperwork. It isn't the job fallout she had to face. The win is the door I closed and the life I stepped into without turning around. I don't check her social media. I don't ask friends how she's doing. I know enough. Last I heard, she moved into a smaller place across town. There are no pictures of office parties, no posts with work pals. It's quiet on her end, too. I kept the final memory of our marriage clear on purpose. She stood in the kitchen with the photos and the papers, the mask slipping because evidence is stubborn. She expected fire or tears. She got neither. She got a boundary. She got a man who wasn't asking to be loved anymore, just respected in his own house. Sometimes at night I step out onto the porch with the dog, watch the streetlights blink, and think about the first moment I noticed her going quiet at the sink. The way she slipped past me like I was furniture. If I could go back, I wouldn't argue more or beg or perform. I'd do exactly what I did, just sooner. I'd save dinner for myself and let the future save itself. Because the day I stopped chasing kindness and started demanding respect, everything got simple. Hard, but simple. That's the part men forget. You don't need speeches. You need decisions. The right ones feel cold and rude to the people who benefited from your softness. Make them anyway. When I finally meet the woman I'm supposed to meet, it won't be because I compromised myself into the shape she wanted. It'll be because I kept my spine. I'll recognize her by the way she shows up without being asked. And she'll recognize me by the way I don't ask twice. Until then, I've got a good house, a steady job, friends I can count on, a truck that starts every time I turn the key, and enough peace to hear my own thoughts. And when I lock my door at night, I lock it all the way. Thanks for watching. I'd really appreciate it if you hit like and subscribed. It means a lot to us. And if you've got something to say, I'd love to read your thoughts in the comments. See you next time.